Hey guys, January 2016. I'm out here in the forest checking out some of the native birds and native plants. Got my big lens, but as usual, they're not cooperating, and I woke up just a little bit too late to catch them moving around so much, so I'm not getting a whole lot of pictures. But anyway, figure I take the time to explain something else that's just as important to me as hunting or as native species or as conservation in general is, and that's politics. Politics matter whether you like it or not. And every beginning of the year in Hawaii, it's our legislative season from about January to March. This is where your laws, budgets, and all of those things get passed. And if you fell asleep in your high school social studies class, you don't know what I'm talking about, but you better go learn and you better get educated on it because that's what's affecting a lot of your hunting today. Um, Real quick in this, I'm gonna try to go as fast as I can and explain what I'm trying to do. Basically, uh, our local hunters in Hawaii, we have two bills in the legislature in this 2016 legislature that affect us. That's House Bill 1041, 1041, and House Bill 799. So I had a whole video on how to get involved with the legislature online. Check it out. I think it's worth your time as hunters to do so. For all the time that we spend out here in the wild and in our natural spaces, you should be able to spend just a little bit of time being involved in your government that is supposed to protect your public access to these public places, public use, be it bird watching, hiking, hunting, fishing, whatever it is. You can be involved in making sure that always stays that way. So a lot of these things are changing over time. I mean, and for the folks that don't know about the Hawaii scene, a lot of hunting areas that I hunted in as a kid, a lot of them are, some of the big areas of them are fenced, eradicated, no more animals. It's all for endangered species. I'm not talking 1,000 acres, 5,000 acres. No, I'm talking 20,000, 40,000 acres. We're talking big chunks of land. So it ain't no joke. This stuff it's serious. I understand both sides of the situation. I think now that's just a personal opinion of mine. I enjoy both endangered and native species as well as the hunting, and I don't place one necessarily over the other. And a lot of folks say, well, hunters, they don't care about bird watching, all that other stuff. Well, I don't know, kind of doing that here. But anyway, let me explain the bills. House Bill 1041, it establishes a state game commission. Now what that is, for the folks that don't know, is if you've hunted in the mainland, typically they come up with new rules and bag seasons, limits, all that kind of stuff every year. And a package of that is built based on wildlife management principles, sent to a fish and game commission generally, which we don't have in Hawaii. This is what we're trying to establish. And they pass it, they vet it with the community and the stakeholders involved, and that's how they manage what they're doing. In Hawaii, we don't have it. What we have is we have a department that decides for you. Now they go out for public process, public hearing, and all of the other stuff. And if you're paying attention to recent events and the history of the past, you'll find that our department generally gives very little regard to the public hearing process. Yeah, they do it as a formality, but in quite a few examples, they've already chosen what they're gonna do politically, and they already got the agenda in. So what we're trying to do is get hunters more involved in that governmental process, in the process of giving input and working together and collaborating and all of those things. And we can't collaborate when we're all separated out on all the different islands and all the decisions are being made on Oahu. We need a formal system, some better system, and hopefully this is the start of that. I think positive things can come of this. Now, like anything, it's a political process, so things there are examples in other states as well where commissions have gone totally political and sometimes hurt you. But I think in our situation in Hawaii, we don't even have a process. We don't even have anything formal. So right now at this point, perhaps anything is better than nothing. Because nothing, I know what that gets us. What nothing gets us is all the guys with money, the non-governmental NGOs, the environmental NGOs. They have all of those. They have more contact and influence with our state government and the media then any of the hunters or you guys that live on the outer islands like me on the Big Island right now, you folks on Maui, Molokai, Lanai, Kauai, you guys have no influence. These people are are in your legislators' ear all the time and getting what they want, getting the budgets and fencing off more of your land, more of your public land, and eradicating animals that where they want. It's happening most on Big Island, so the folks here are affected most by it. But I'm gonna be honest. I don't think any other island's immune to this stuff. It's coming. If a system of collaboration and finding more community accepted ways of doing things is not found here now or very quickly, it'll be on your guys' islands, and you guys will see large fencing and eradication as well, I think. So I think this is a good process. Just get you hunters involved in government, support it. It comes out for testimony 48 to 24 hours before it gets heard. So stay tuned on the social media sites to keep updated on when this is and when you can support. The second bill, House Bill 799. It's a bill proposed by the department, the DLNR, on essentially amending Hawaii Revised Statutes HRS 263-10. Basically, that revised statute is about almost 100 years old probably, and it prohibits people from shooting wildlife from an aerial vehicle. Right now everyone knows they actually shoot from a helicopter. Some cases it's federally mandated, but in some other cases they feel it's in their prerogative or in their departmental duties to shoot wildlife or shoot anything they feel is in line with what they want to do. Now, if you believe that if the animals that you hunt are a public resource, are a public trust thing, that perhaps the department should ask your permission before they should aerially destroy wildlife. So I think as hunters we should oppose this bill, HB 799. It was also born out of a lawsuit. Hawaii County, this county went and banned aerial shooting, and obviously the department didn't like that idea because they do this practice. So they tried to take the Hawaii County to court and get a judge to rule that this law, HRS 263-10, state law, doesn't apply to the state. So I don't know what kind of logic that is, where you're trying to say state law doesn't apply to state employees just because of whatever you want to do. But that was what they went to court for, and most of you reasonable, logical people out there can figure out what the judge said. The judge said the state law applies, and he couldn't make a judgment on that. That the only way you're gonna get what they want is they need to go to the legislature, amend the law, and go from there. And history has proven that that's not what they want to do. They don't want to go amend the law because then they have to ask all of you guys, the public, what they think about that in public testimony, and that's what we're here for. That's what this video is. I need you to provide public testimony to the department, to the government, your legislators, about how you feel about these things. So if they're allowed to aerially shoot wildlife anywhere they want, they get what they want. I don't know what to say about your hunting areas. I really don't. You have a ton of endangered species. They're gonna say it's injurious to them, which in some cases they can be, if not taken care of correctly. But they're gonna use that as a way to, hey, we gotta do what we want to do. Get out there, shoot a bunch, not even tell you about it, and move forward. So I think you should oppose it as hunters. I think even the general public doesn't like the idea of a government being able to run out there and shoot whatever they want from the air. I mean, there are instances where this happened next to residences and things like that. So please oppose that. Now, I just talked a whole bunch of politics. Things aren't perfect in politics. You gotta push for what you want, and then sometimes you end up in the middle. So sometimes you gotta shoot for Jupiter and you land on the moon, kind of thing. And maybe it's not logical, maybe it doesn't make sense, maybe it's not the most intelligent thing, but that's politics. But to avoid some of that, I just said a whole bunch of stuff about the two bills and how it is and what you guys should do as hunters. I also want to propose a solution as well. So these two bills, HB 1041, HB 799, I think they're linked. I think we can have a solution in the end that makes a difference. And if anybody important is listening, please consider this. So form the commission, get the commission going, and from that commission, if you need to aerially shoot wildlife, why don't you go to the commission and see whether there are ways to do that, maybe ways to avoid it, or if it is indeed one of those places, which I believe exists. There are, I've seen it myself, there are places you need to aerially shoot wildlife, because there's no way you can control these animals via hunting, via any other means that might be more cost prohibitive or things like that. So I understand the need for this aerial shooting tool. It's needed. You got my sympathies there. However, I think you should ask the public before you go do those things, because they don't trust the department. They don't trust you making that judgment on your own. And the history maybe has shown that trust, that distrust isn't completely bunk. Like, they actually have a point, you know. So pull together our communities, make it more inclusive, get the commission done, hear from the hunters, hear from our managers, and put them all together and address aerial shooting if need be via that means. So that's my solution. I think it can be done. It's not crazy, you know. We're not all gonna die tomorrow if this sheep or this deer or this pig or goat or whatever isn't killed next week or isn't killed in this week. You know, we can talk about this. We can get this fixed, and we can find mutual ways to coexist and have synergies within our communities and bring us together. You know, have a little more aloha for each other. So that's my take on it. I hope it's a viable solution. I hope it makes a difference. I hope my viewers are hunters that are listening in Hawaii. I hope you guys take to heart what was just said here as information, and let's have a good 2016. Aloha.